So I was walking in the park today, trying to get my mind to see a new kind of light. That's not the dark, dreary glow of my room where the only source of light is the PC monitor. I take a seat to look at a squirrel from a distance, doing squirrel things. And there are certain kinds of people passing by, doing what certain kinds of people do. But I get bored quickly because the outdoors has air in it, and I'm not a fan of air. So I start daydreaming. And one thing leads to another, and I'm thinking about what would I do if I actually got a chance to fix the world? And with that, another question rushes into my head. What even are the problems of the world? Well, like typical, the mind goes straight to material needs. Stuff. The world has a problem of stuff. How do I get the world more stuff? And that's already a dead end because as long as we live in a materialistic existence, it's going to be almost impossible to satisfy needs that aren't self-creating. There's always going to be more stuff wanted than there is stuff available. The hunger just regenerates. Another question rudely interjects. Isn't somebody out there already trying to fix all this? What do they plan on doing? Should I go with their plan or mine? And why? Why is your vision of the good better than anyone else's? Says who? But we're ragged individualists, aren't we? So leave me be to my individual approach. You do yours, and I'll do mine. And somehow, we're supposed to end up with a coherent world out of that. The real problem underneath all of it is the lack of a hive mind. Free will, whether you believe in it or not, the problem remains. Individuals having individual needs makes it almost impossible to do anything united. Everyone is pulling in slightly different directions at the same time. And the existing class system is basically a perfect machine for creating blocks that have completely different needs. The elite, the middle class, the poor, and all the in-betweens in that ever-shifting arrangement. The elite have their own ends to meet. Mind you, they don't even agree with each other. They all have different visions for the future, so ultimately, even they don't really get what they want. The middle class wants to keep what it has, because what they have is actually pretty good, and everybody else is waiting to get on the same roller coaster they're already riding. So they fight however they can to keep you off. The seats are supposed to be limitless, but somehow, there never seems to be a free one. And the poor are angry, but they still love the crumbs the elite give them. And they'll fight each other to keep those crumbs coming. You can say, well, we can combine our voting power to make that change. Except you live in a system that's designed to always end up in two-team game theory situations. And you're born and taught to love the system, by the way. And you do love it, but the winner never takes all. So there's never enough continuous time to implement anything long enough for real change. And that's what makes my system better than anything else. It can never really solidify into anything. The amorphous blob of non-compatible parts running as inefficiently as possible. Whoever is in charge gets in, does half measures because they're in a system where their opponents can store them, wait them out, and intervene the whole way. And they do those half measures in the name of doing something. They also benefit themselves in the process because why not? They live on material too. Then they get out. Sure, you can make changes to some things, but not the important stuff. You're at the mercy and the benevolence of whoever you vote for to give you crumbs. The meal never comes because you really don't matter that much in the places where the real decisions get made. So the vote in your system can't really get you out. The existence of the elite makes most of your efforts trivial. You're not involved and your opinion is not required in the rooms where actual movement happens. The best you can usually do is superficially replace them with other elites who also don't require your opinion. And if you actually make it somehow, if you somehow get resources or influence, you think you can just steer the whole machine with a manual? But you're just one rich person among others who have completely different visions for the world. And if you're poor, well, you're basically powerless, getting crushed at every turn while just trying to survive and drift with the flow. You realize most people don't even grasp how the world actually functions. So how are you supposed to change a system you don't understand? That includes me. Another thought intrudes. And even if you think you know, you're probably wrong. There's just too much data, too many moving parts that are interconnected and disconnected all at the same time. At any given moment, someone with enough resources or sitting in a high enough seat is altering your reality bit by bit. You won't see it today, but in a few years, your life has shifted and you won't even know why or where it began. With all these layers of problems stacked on top of each other, you start to realize that true change feels almost impossible. You might say people just need to vote for the right ones to do the right thing. But that's just naive. I've learned, admittedly, in only 21 years of life, that those in power can get away with almost anything, absolutely anything, as long as they implement it slowly enough for people to just accept it. There's also a whole management class, the middle class, that's already running the day-to-day of the world you're trying to save. So why haven't they changed anything yet in all this time? Is it a lack of money? Surely not. There are trillions moving through the economy every year. They must be going somewhere. Somebody must be doing something with them. And what's even the ultimate goal anyway? There clearly isn't any unifying principle. Is it just the generic to have a good life? Well, what kind of life is that? Clearly you and I don't fully agree, which is why we're always fighting. So the squirrel comes back and takes me out of my mind. It's actually getting pretty hot outside. My room may be gloomy and dark, but it's got conditioning. Thank God for small miracles.